What's going on, people? I almost didn't check in, but I thought, let me go ahead and do that to say hello to everyone. As always, top of the list is my family members. Hello, Stephanie. Yeah. Hello, Kareem. Hello, twins. Hello, friends. Hello, world. And cheers. I got to remember to pull that cup that you gave me, Rebecca, if you happen to see this, and do a video so you can see that I appreciate it. But these workaday cups are the ones that I use mostly because it seems like when I get a special cup, I end up dropping it and breaking it. And not on purpose, but very strange how that works. Real quick, I'm just going to go completely off the top of my head today in a number of directions, or maybe only one. We'll see what I remember to talk about. It's been a great week. The last record I played was all the way through last night, Silver Apples, this groundbreaking, ahead of its time work of electronic music. Simeon and the other fella, Dan, with their contraptions. And this is an original. What's interesting is this is my third copy of an original. I got one when it first was cut out because it didn't sell at all when it came out. So I got this probably within a year of its release as a cutout. It still has the insert, the poster, whatever you want to call it. But I liked it right away, and I'm not sure what happened to my first copy. My adolescent copy, I probably played it to death. Now what's interesting is for a while I had an import copy, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't remember selling it. But this is another original US copy, and this is very collectible for musical reasons as well as historical reasons, okay? I want to say again, I'm just glad to be the bearer of good news when it comes to exposing music that means a lot to me. I see that, again, the band Mew from Denmark is still not a well-known commodity, and they ought to be. The music is wonderfully pop as well as wonderfully progressive and inventive and full of inventive melodies. And Jonas has this choir boy type of voice that is young beyond his years, unique. Check it out. Plus he had that project Apparatchik with the guys from Aha and Coldplay and the other guy. Pretty interesting stuff. Plus the interview with Mark Burgess. What a sweet guy. So, I'm on Discogs, but I wasn't paying any attention to some of the numbers that people were talking about in the string of videos that I participated in, records that no one else in the VC has. I never really paid attention to the listings of how many people have records. I can't really go by that. Not that I can't, but it's like, that's not going to become interesting to me or important to me. But it did cause me to pull a couple of records where I thought to myself, well, I'm not entering the contest, but this is just interesting to talk about. A while back, I forget who did this. Someone sent me some Jandek records. I kept one. I kept his first album, 6 and 6, because this is an original. This is not a reissue. This is not a jackpot reissue. This is an original on Corewood. No barcode. And after watching an interview and with Jandek, where it just really, I get it. It's not something I'm going to listen to, but I'm glad I kept this. Who else has Jandek in their collection in the VC that watches this? I was also pleased, let me just do this right quick. You know, being a public channel, I have no idea who watches me. I really don't. Other than the people who can't stay in touch with me. But it turns out that the fellow who did photography on the Porcupine Tree closure continuation, Luke Burrows, watches. And he informed me a couple days ago that he is the one who did some of this. I don't know if he did all the photography or some of it, but I wanted to acknowledge that, you know, I heard from this fellow, what a cool job, you know what I'm saying? I mean, a job is a job, but to have the job to help design or to design the latest Porcupine Tree album, especially after Stephen Wilson worked so exclusively with Lassie Hoyle for so long. Yeah, there he is. Design, photography, except for Corrosion by Luke Burrows. And okay, so the Corrosion, I take it that's this. Nice job. I just want to just acknowledge that that's pretty darn cool to work with someone like this, you know, Stephen Wilson and the guys in Porcupine Tree. Good stuff. Wanted to acknowledge that. And just keep going. Regarding the interviews, I just want to say that, you know, again, for people who don't really understand or have not been following me, this is not a public service. This is me sharing my personal life. So the people that I'm interviewing are people who have personally impacted me and are important to me. I'm not interviewing anyone according to anyone else's agenda. This is my life I'm sharing with you. You know, please show some respect. I've contacted a couple more folks that I'm interested in talking to. And we'll see if I hear back from them or not. Okay. Enjoyed this a whole lot. And they have a new album coming out, or maybe it's out now, plus this box set, which I don't know, I don't plan on getting, but The House of Love. She Paints Words in Red. This was a recent album of theirs. 2013. I got the white vinyl edition. And Guy Chadwick is a great songwriter too. Along with Mark Burgess, they are my kind of songwriters. They don't write similarly, really, but I think of them in the same UK sort of mind artist. There's some really good songs on here, and they do a new version of Purple Killer Rose. Great song of House of Loves. So here's one that I'd like to know who else has a copy, because I can't, this is not on Discogs, and I've only seen a copy on eBay for sale. But it's interesting that this is an early album that includes the guitarist Steve Tibbetts. Some of you folks know Steve Tibbetts. Here's the one right quick. I have several of his albums, but here's one I can grab right quick. I think he's from Minnesota. But this is a band called Square One. It's more on the rock side, but it's definitely Steve Tibbetts on guitar, and he plays some rockist solos, rock guitar-y solos on these songs. But this, I can't find this. Steve Tibbetts doesn't list it in his credits, and I couldn't find it elsewhere on Discogs at all. Anybody else have a copy of this? Square One. That's kind of interesting. You know, I got caught up in the records no one else has thread. I like it. So as people have been loading their entries, I'm watching those. Those are fun. I'm seeing a few other records that I have, mostly records I don't have, a lot of records that I wouldn't want. I don't have much of novelty stuff or old time stuff that's kind of goofy and weird. I'm not really interested in collecting stuff like that. I saw a lot of stuff like that, but it's interesting to see. Cool thread. Catherine Wheel has been putting a lot of cryptic stuff, not necessarily cryptic, but just stuff on social media that makes you think, well, are they active again? Is something new happening? They've been touting their albums' anniversaries. They just were talking about the 25-year anniversary of this album, Adam and Eve, which is brilliant. I love the band Catherine Wheel, and I do hope they have something new coming out. I really do. This is one where I was thinking maybe this will take them over the top here in America, that they'll get established. Delicious was really good up here. Broken Nose, Solituda. I mean, this is just a great album. And then they worked with Storm Thorgerson and Hypnosis like Pink Floyd did, where Storm recognized the greatness of this band. But they never broke through, darn it. I don't know why. I love the band. Played some of this, library music. N38 Infini. And it's a mono recording, and this is real obscure. Fabio Favor and one other guy. I love stuff like this. It's like making movies in the mind. Went this route. I hadn't played this in a while because it's nostalgia as well as I love the songs for the most part. This is the official reissue of Small Faces Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. And if you know your music, you know this album. And it's just great. It's just great. Kind of a nostalgic trip for the most part as a listen. The last time I played this, it was kind of like I couldn't penetrate it. Literally. I couldn't get it to register. This time it did. Faust and Nurse with Wound, Disconnected. And this just is more interesting to me than in general the latest things happening in pop music. I stay in touch. I've listened to the new Beyonce so far. I already am picking up on there's some bullshit with where Kellis has supposedly used part of Milkshade or interpolated it and didn't credit her. You know, big money and big business just is very disappointing. The mainstream of this world is very disappointing. I listened to some more Faust. Patchwork. This is one where they take old stuff and reconfigure it. It's like, in parts it sounds like they're remixing it. Other parts it sounds like they've done new versions and mix it with the old version. Very cool, actually. It's a really good listen. Faust, Patchwork. And then, I was having kind of I like audio work as well as sound. So, Joyride, Friendsound. This is the same guys who were in Paul Revere and the Raiders, but afterwards. And this is cool because it's right about the time that Faust and those guys are getting going, 1969, and these guys are doing it here in America, playing with sound, improvising, collaging, and doing it well. Friendsound. So that was a fun listen. So, Keep it simple like that. A little music for you. I just received this from the label in Poland, Fourth Dimension. Scion Oregon mastered this. Richard Young's. My first initial play of this, sorry that I'm speaking about it at the end, but I'm getting it in here because I see it. New Emptiness, Richard Young's, where he's using modulated carrier frequencies, snare drum, gong, bamboo flute, and voice. This works. I got to tell you, I put this on for the initial impression, and then I got drawn into it. That's the most important thing to say about any sort of music, whatever it is. If it draws you into it, something's happening, and this is good. This is working. Best way to approach this is to listen to it, and you can listen to it online on Bandcamp. I'm pretty sure. I'll look up the link. Of course, everything is online these days, people. You can hear practically anything that's been released on the internet these days. So this new one, Richard Young's New Emptiness, I like this. It caught me at the right moment, and I just got drawn into it. Sound, and yeah, I'd be digging that stuff. Okay, I'm out of here. Take care.